Hello.
There you go. Have fun, guys.
Thank you very much.
Episode 2.
There we go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Sidebar Podcast, and today we are joined by the same guest as 2 weeks ago, Mr. Andrew Reichman.
Hello again.
I like the little woo from the voice. So obviously, it's been 2 weeks. I've gone home, changed, showered, gone to work. Andrew's still on the same bender that he was on previously in the last episode.
Very limited wardrobe these days.
It's definitely not straight after we last recorded the last one, which is why this one's going to be even more debauchery. Today's episode is an interesting one. I thought of it while showering, and because I've got the responsibility of this, because as we all know, Rob and Rowan aren't about yet. They will be here
Soon enough. Yeah.
For a very exciting episode, where all of you lucky lot get to finally see the bar that Rob and this man built for this podcast.
Oh,
so new setting, new environment, lots and lots of benefits, because unlimited alcohol, bar, all of that sort of stuff. So today's episode, as I was saying, because I segued slightly there, is an interesting one, because we all know that there's certain shops out there that, you know, they do products that look very similar to other products on the market, and they claim to taste very similar too. So we're going to put it to a test. Today we are testing a Birra Moretti and a Rossini versus a Birra Moretti and a Peroni. Very exciting. And we're going to tell you which one's best. I really hope it's the main brand and not the fake brand.
Which one do we start with? That's a question.
I think we need to do a pour off. So shall we pour a separate beer first and then go on to the taste test?
Good to me.
I think that sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Would you like a Birra Moretti or a Peroni?
I would like a Peroni, please.
You can have a Peroni then, sir.
Thank you very much.
That's for you. And this is for me. And at least then we can do a pour off. We've elected for slightly shorter glasses, as to not get too drunk.
Responsible drinking.
Yes, we are responsible drinkers, and we very much promote responsible drinking. If you ain't drunk yet, drink more. Right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. I expect to see good head.
That's good head.
You never let anyone down.
They're both pretty good
They're both
pours.
very good.
Ooh!
Yours is staying.
I would hazard a guess to say Andrew 1 or 2. He had a slightly smaller head. Now, if you're a European, that's a bad thing. But us British people, we love maximum beer, minimum froth, flavour. In fact, it's not how it's meant to be poured. It's still got the gas in it. Apparently, it tastes worse. But we're British people, so beer. That's.
Tangent. Right, carry on.
So today's episode is a little bit more controversial than the last one. We like to keep you guys on your toes. So I'm going to hand back over to the voice for what we like to call game number 2.
So, this is the dilemma debate.
Ooh.
So, I'm going to present you both with a bunch of ethically controversial dilemmas. And you can both argue your points. Whether you're both going to have the same opinions or we're going to have different opinions, it's going to be an interesting one. So, let's get straight into it. The first one is a medical ethical dilemma.
Ooh, okay.
I said they were going to be controversial.
Is there scoring in this?
I will score at the end of each round.
Oof.
Whose argument I think was more compelling.
Okay.
Unless you both go for the same side.
Which we probably should, right?
Oh, yes.
We'll see.
Let's go.
So, imagine that you are a doctor with one dose of a life-saving drug. 2 patients need it. A young child with a good prognosis and an elderly person with a poor prognosis. Who do you give the drug to and why? And what principles would guide your decision?
So let me clarify here. Old person, very likely to die without said drug.
Yes.
Bad prognosis. Young person, likely to survive without the drug, but could die.
Yes.
Give it to the young person.
Young person.
Do you think?
Young person.
I mean, you've got that moral dilemma of it depends on what percentage it is. You know, if it's 99.9% chance the kid's going to survive and 100% chance that the old person's going to die, then I would give it to the old person. But in every other eventuality...
Yeah. It's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Young person.
Yeah, I think in general, you know, even if there's like a 5% chance the child will die, that's a 1 in 20, you know, they've not lived the life yet.
Yeah.
I think that the old person would probably pick the same thing.
Yeah, I'd agree.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely. Young person.
Very ethically sound, I think.
Look at us being good people.
And an agreement too, I like it. Okay, dilemma number 2. Freedom versus security. So, a government can implement a surveillance system that does reduce crime, but it does then, of course, infringe on everybody else's privacy. So, of course, with it, you know, it can reduce that crime. It depends, I guess, how much that affects you. Do you support the implementation of the surveillance system? And I'd like your reasonings as to why or why not.
What's your thoughts?
I like being entitled to my privacy, and I don't like being surveilled. It's not for me.
Well, you've spent some time surveilling people.
Exactly. Exactly. And I don't enjoy doing it. I don't enjoy me doing it either.
So I would err on the side of the same. Obviously, there's part of me that says security is really important, and I love the infrastructure we've got, where I do feel more secure. Has CCTV saved my ass in the past? Yes. You know, it has. Do I like it? No. I think, in general, even though it might sound controversial, there is like a
necessity for it.
Yeah, there's a necessity for it, and on the flip, I suppose there's also
there's overdoing it. I think.
Yeah, and people are going to be dying. Bad things going to be happening, and the surveillance stops it happening in certain maybe more obvious places. But it does mean that they get smarter, and to start off with, you know, you're pushing them to become more intelligent as well because they have to be.
Yeah.
People only tend to change in aversion, like times of panic. Yeah, so I think less surveillance, and people should just
be able to have their freedom.
Yeah, freedom to protect themselves.
So you don't think that a surveillance system would reduce crime?
Well, it
the
probably
criminals
would
just get smarter.
I think it would reduce crime. I think that it definitely makes criminals get smarter. Think about hacking. Think about every time a web developer makes a better, secure website, the hackers just need to get better at hacking. And it's the same with crime. You know, you used to do daylight crime all the time, like just on the street and never get caught. But now you're very likely to get caught quite quickly. But I think that in terms of privacy, you know, that's super important as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should be entitled to privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so both in agreement again.
Again, let's go.
You've got a very similar moral compass.
Yeah, we're reasonably similar people, so that's going to be a struggle.
Yeah. Carry on.
Okay.
Carry on.
Dilemma number 3: technological advancements. So, a company has developed a robot that can replace human workers in all manual labour jobs.
Oh shit!
Quite relevant actually with all of the recent AI developments. So could actually happen. Do you support the widespread use of these robots, knowing that it will cause mass unemployment, but it will increase efficiency and safety? No room for human error for all robots.
See, now I have a different opinion on it. What's your opinion on it? We work in two very different sectors. Andrew definitely works in that type of manual labour work. You know, I definitely work in the more digital space.
Yeah. But it's infringing your world as well, though, no?
In a positive way, I'd say, not negative.
Do you ever feel that it might take your job?
No, impossible for mine.
What about you? Same, the voice?
No, I don't think it will. It helps my job.
Yeah.
I think the people that aren't using it they're the ones that are at risk.
The thing is, I thought about this, about like AA taking over my job. We are not even close to that yet. Like the fine skills you have to be labouring and building, they'll never get it. It's going to take them a long, long time to get that. However, it may happen one day.
Mm-hmm. And if it does, they've just made it, is what they're saying. That's what it says. They've just made this thing that will take that job away. Like you know, every bit of work you've done at Pivotal House is now able to be done by a robot.
Yeah. Also, for example, we run in a production line in a factory, and actually, rather than somebody manually checking and manually moving things on the production line, they implement robots, and all of those jobs are gone. How do you feel about that? Because I think that is actually happening right now.
Yeah, probably is, isn't it? That's a hard one. People have a livelihood, of course. We're probably just overpopulated, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, overpopulation is a key factor. I think it's really important. But I go with Tesla, and not Tesla, Elon Musk's opinion. We're not overpopulated at all. No, in that sense, we've got more than enough resources to last the human race a serious amount of time, unfathomable amount of time. It's more like for the economy that we've put in place, for the structure and system we've got, we're overburdened.
Yeah.
If we had a better system of working, we wouldn't be overpopulated because our resources allow more. But my opinion is, no, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a very good thing to reduce all of them types of injuries, to reduce those types of workplace stresses, to reduce those types of depressing jobs. It does open up the entire company that's probably worth billions and hires 10,000 people, to have jobs building machines, maintaining machines, going around to these factories.
Yeah, I've got a caveat. And if I knew that people were losing a job but then employed in something else, cool, go for it.
I think it pushes them to get employed in something else. And I think sometimes, whenever I've sidestepped or had a really bad thing happen in my workplace and I've had to move away, I've always progressed, not regressed. Them sidesteps, them moves in jobs, you don't just stop. You don't just fall off. Some people might, and again, I don't want to speak out, but I think there is a general consensus that you'll improve, you'll become better.
The dilemma was, do you support the widespread use of these robots knowing it will cause mass unemployment?
Knowing it will cause mass unemployment, good point. So no,
But with the increases in efficiency and safety.
No, because my whole theory on it is that people could go find other jobs, that there is more jobs available then because of this, that, there's a whole new industry born, where they still need people working in that factory. So there's still people, but there's a whole other industry to work in.
Yeah.
But it's guaranteed to increase unemployment?
No. I don't like them.
No.
Interesting. Okay. I think now's a good time for an interlude to try your knockoff beers.
Oh, I was going to wait until I finish the poured beer, but I will finish it quickly.
No, I think you've got to have the comparison.
Right.
Here we go. So I just drunk that one.
We're going to pour both. So we don't mind sharing a glass. We've not got cookies. So do we just pour bad one into one glass and good one into the other?
Oh, but you've not tasted the original. That's a problem.
Yeah, we will, because we'll just swap glasses.
Madness. Oof. All right.
We don't have to.
That's fine.
I do. I can have cooties if you want me to.
Don't get the cooties. Right. Open that one up.
Right. So if you pour the Peroni into yours and I pour the Rossini into mine, we have a sip and then we swap. We've done a full pour. It could have been a little pour, but we've done a full pour. Can I say the pouring is on point? There's been no spillages yet today. Pretty impressed. 1 second. We've missed it the whole time. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry, Rowan. We'll remember it next time, I promise. Rossini, right. One thing I can tell you is it's nowhere near as hoppy and pungent as the Birra Moretti I was just drinking.
Give me the Rossini.
Yeah, the one that I was just drinking a second ago. Yeah, that's nowhere near.
Right, that's the original Peroni.
That's the original Peroni. Okay, so that is, again, it's quite bland. That's not a bad or good thing. Sometimes I want a bland beer. I want it really easy to drink.
Doesn't taste anything like that. This is much stronger. It's like a weaker version.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
That's a lot stronger.
See what I mean?
That's a lot stronger,
yeah.
and also tasty still.
Yeah.
Because I love a Peroni. This one, I think I can say for myself, Peroni is a clear winner here.
100%.
Like, and in terms of comparison, this is very weak. Doesn't taste like a Carlsberg weak.
Yeah.
It
tastes like Peroni, but just watered down. Is what it tastes like to me.
Yeah.
Yoink.
I'm gonna have to have another sip.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll let you mull on that. We can do another dilemma.
1 second.
Yeah.
This is the Rossini, yeah?
No.
Yeah, this
yes,
is my
this one,
glass. That's the Peroni.
Yeah. Way better.
Yeah.
This one.
I can almost actually taste the booze in that, like the actual alcohol.
Yeah,
but it's
I mean-
like quite watery.
Yeah. Some of Aldi Lidl's knockoff food is fucking on point though. Do you not think?
Oh, mate. The chicken select. The McDonald's
God
knockoff
damn.
chicken select. God damn.
Yeah.
I've been eating them for months now.
Yeah.
They are bloody lovely.
Yeah.
And we just got the Nando's range. We're eating it tonight. So they've got this whole knockoff Roosters Nando range. And we got the mac and cheese, the rice,
The mac and cheese is good.
some broccoli, but not the Nando's broccoli. And then a half a chicken, lemon and herb, because they don't do hot half a chickens. And then we got hot butterfly chicken. So we will let you know if we remember, which we won't, on the next episode, if that was good or not.
Yes. Feast.
Which we won't. No, it is 100% the case that this is a weak Peroni.
Yeah.
It's not as good. Peroni is way better. It does cost more. So there's your answer. Please choose your preference wisely.
What does our knockoff Moretti look like?
The what?
The knockoff Moretti. What does that look like?
Ah, yes. Next beer. Wait, we need to finish these.
I don't, okay, have a sip. No, I'm done. Cheers. Responsible drinking. You take care of your mates. Always.
Responsible drinking. Right. So this one's got the way better name.
Be back in 1 second.
This one has got the way better name. Birra Moretti.
Whoa.
So
Can you say that again? Birra Moretti.
Birra Moretti, and this one, obviously the standard Birra Moretti. Way better design, even though they look exactly the same. Let us know in the comments which design you think's better, and if you say this one, you're a loser. It's only because I like that beer. Birra Moretti's good.
You might like the Birra Moretti.
Don't say that. Actually, we don't need to open this full bottle. There is a half a bottle here.
There we go.
Tasters.
Easy there, didn't he? Stop. Start all this one first. Wait, come on.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. There's half that. Your nice fresh glass.
Oh, look at Andrew working it out so that we don't have to share a glass. I like it.
It's just very European. Nice this.
This is nice.
Nice.
So this is the Birra Moretti, but we can't do a side by side.
How do we do the cheers again? It's top, bottom.
Top, bottom, table, drink.
That's the original.
I love a Birra Moretti. So this is better than a Peroni in my opinion, and the reason I say that is because it's a bit like deeper. It's like got a bit more beer taste to it.
I know what I mean. Yeah.
Peroni is quite an easy drinker.
Light.
Yeah, it's quite light.
Yeah.
Whereas Birra Moretti has that ability to be popular, but also have quite a deep taste to it. Shall we dilemma before we
Yes.
move on to the next one,
Good
so we
idea.
can finish these?
Let's go.
Absolutely. So, this one is an environmental responsibility.
Right,
Look at it.
go.
So, a country can either focus on rapid economic growth, leading to environmental degradation,
Right.
or prioritise environmental protection, potentially slowing economic progress. Which path should the country take and why?
Take care of the environment every time.
Such a loaded question, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Such a loaded question.
Yeah.
Can I give like a really sideways answer?
Oh God. Go for it. How sideways?
Well, no, I think it's the only logical real answer.
Go on.
Like this is, I actually care about this one. Like, I think most people should. This is
Yeah.
like a serious topic. Think about it. No, you don't want to destroy the environment. Like, literally, trees give oxygen. The whole point is we live off the land. Our food grows in soil, not from concrete. So there's loads of positives to preserving. Without economic growth, you don't progress as a country. Now, in a world that we live in, you've got countries that become super rich, and because we live in a global bank, you become extremely poor and suffer from famine and problems and shit like that. So, like, that is bad. Like, that's really bad. So, in my opinion, you need to concentrate on a balance, and that balance needs to include investing the money you make from economic growth into environmental preservation. I don't see it as like one or the other.
The best of
You
both
build your economic growth as quickly as you can using your environment. So yeah, destroying it in some parts, yeah. But then as soon as that has become booming, you use that economic boost to fund consistent environmental preservation, because then the world sees you as rich because you're making a lot of money, but you're investing heavily back into your own society. That is the perfect setup for a country.
So you're taking the Sweden approach here.
1 second, is that that's the last
one.
You just drunk more than me. I got on my soapbox.
Tangents.
I just soapboxed. That was the first dilemma that I was like.
You felt passionate about
But
that.
I think about that one regularly.
All right, good.
Andrew, what are your views?
Environment every time.
At the cost of economic growth
Yeah.
of the country?
Yeah.
Interesting.
100%.
Okay, and what are your reasonings behind that?
I want my kids to inherit a planet that still works. And if that means we slow down a little bit, I don't care. I think we're too fast already. Really, I do.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I completely get
Put the
that.
brake on for a bit. Put the brake on for a bit.
Yeah.
Interesting. So our first dilemma that you've actually had slightly different opinions
That's
on.
my take on it. That's it.
No, I completely understand that.
Yeah, and I appreciate your views on it.
Yeah.
I can understand your
Man, like,
if you can guarantee that it was invested in like future regeneration programs, that's fine. But I don't think it will be. That's not how
I agree. I don't think it will be. That's why I said it has to be that.
Yeah,
That's why it's a sideways answer. It's like it only works if it gets reinvested, because the planet regenerates. Genuinely, it heals. So we can use the resource, and then as long as it's guaranteed that we then heal it again, once we've got that economic boost and we preserve land, like even America, like one of the biggest like land masses, like other than Russia, that's owned by a single country. They preserve so much of their land now.
So they should.
Yeah,
and the UK does as well.
Well, we're rubbish at it in comparison, but it's space related.
That's it. Yeah.
I reckon if you took a percentage, we'd probably be better than them.
Yeah.
But we have owned this island from what it used to be. Anyway, next dilemma.
Okay.
Let's get off the passionate one.
Yeah.
Get
Get back on that soapbox. Get on that. Go on. Go get it.
So
That's what beer does.
the fifth dilemma is a social media censorship. So social media platforms can either allow complete freedom of speech.
Sorry, hold on. Come on. It's a taste test. You'll wash them out.
I like this.
Come on, man.
We're taking this seriously.
I agree. I should have thought of that. Carry on with the dilemma.
Carry on.
Okay. So social media platforms can either allow complete freedom of speech, leading to the spread of misinformation and hate, or enforce strict content regulations, potentially stifling free expression.
That's easy.
Should social media platforms prioritise freedom of speech or content regulation?
That's super easy. Super easy. It's not the social media platform's fault that people believe stupid people. So you should be able to say whatever you want, and if you're learning, make sure who you're learning from has some sort of accreditation.
I'm going to pour your beer. I'm going to pour my beer.
Okay. I like that.
So with that in mind, you think that social media platforms should allow complete freedom of speech?
Complete.
Complete. So this is
complete.
complete. This is the spreading of hate. You're not allowed
Yep.
to be banned.
Yep.
You can say whatever you want with minimal consequences.
Fully believe that people choose to be on social media. It's a platform where posts happen. That you don't sign up to social media where it says, "Don't worry, we're going to block all hateful messages and all bad things, so you're going to have a fluffy life." you go onto social media knowing that it's a place where people can say what they feel.
It's
and
the
want.
internet, man.
So if you haven't been educated, or your parents or somebody hasn't in your school hasn't educated that social media isn't real life, then it's going to be a problem for them. But that's something we need to solve elsewhere, not solve. But again, it's about that surveillance thing and privacy. It's like freedom to be private, freedom to be able to say what
Just
you
takes
want.
a bit really. It's not actually that bad.
No, I haven't ever tried this one.
I know.
I'd actually tried the previous
I was
one,
surprised.
but
this for me is watered down that.
so this is the same. It's watered down Birra Moretti,
Yeah.
but Birra Moretti's better beer.
Yeah, because it's stronger, so it's just
So this is now Birra Moretti.
Yeah.
The previous one we had was the last bit of the Birra Moretti that we drank, and you could tell that was really deep.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. This is way better than the Rossini. This one here,
not the one.
was not the one.
Not the one.
That's a no-go beer. Peroni, a big yes. This though,
I drink it.
I could drink this.
I could drink that.
And do you know what about this as well? Is it's like, £2.59 a bottle and £1.45 a bottle. So there is a big difference in price. And
it's palatable. You can drink it.
there is a difference in size of the beers actually. So this one's
Percentage.
that's a 500 at 4.6, and this is a 600 at 4.6. They have the same beer with no water in it, but it does taste watered down, doesn't it? But I tell you what, they've done a good job at making sure that this one does taste more like a Peroni, and this one does taste more like a Birra Moretti. They've done that at least. They've really sort of matched up the undertones of the beer.
The flavour notes.
The notes of what we're trying today have been matched excellently.
That's been good though. Right, so going back to the question.
Yeah, Andrew, what are your thoughts on
the
social
censorship?
media
Yeah.
censorship?
I don't know. I think like Josh said, it is a platform, and if you want freedom of speech, then you should be allowed to say what you want to say. There are things that people say that are controversial, most definitely, and that's going to happen anywhere in the world.
And both being fathers
Exactly. Yeah.
of
Yeah. Exactly.
boys
That was
going
going to segue into my next bit.
years.
I mean, if kids want to see it, they'll find a way to watch it. That's a no-brainer.
Yep. We did that.
Exactly. We were no different.
We're of the generation where, as we became old enough to want the internet was born.
Yeah, and again, stuff that we had no idea was out there.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we've grown up in this world, and it's education. They were so scared of it back then, though, that they educated us heavily on it. They were really breaking down on the security of the internet and stuff like that, and the fact that these things are out there. Pornography in general wasn't a big thing until the internet happened, and teenage boys went mad, and all the dads went, "That's not how you do it. It comes in magazines."
Yes. He's actually fucking right there.
And that's the internet for you.
Yeah, that's internet, 100%.
So we didn't have filtered internet. In fact, we had the opposite.
Yeah.
That was so Norfolk. We didn't have filtered internet. We had the opposite. It was open to everybody, and nobody could track anything. There wasn't any cyber security.
Yeah.
Nowadays you've got so many protections in place that I wouldn't call restrictions. Why do you need to restrict speech? As I said, educate people that if you're reading something online, trust the source. That's it. If the source is just random Joe blogs, go research that bit of information a ton more before you believe it.
Cool.
I like that. That's fair.
Okay, this next dilemma, I think it's going to be a pretty straightforward answer from both of you, but I'm still keen to hear your opinions.
That's good.
A healthcare system can either provide basic universal coverage for all, or offer high quality care only to those who can afford it. Which healthcare system do you support and why?
So basically, the NHS or America.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That's
That's saying that the medical care in America is high quality.
Okay.
So
And
it is
people would
super high quality. If
People
you've got
would
the
disagree
money.
with that, but tends to be that if you're paying decent health insurance, you get seen reasonably quickly in America compared to what you don't go in for a life-saving problem in America and wait 8 months for the surgery if you're willing to pay the 114 grand it costs to have the surgery done.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between one way the people that can afford it that would have died in the UK would have survived in the US, but the other way is the economy fluctuates, so there may be one year that 95% of the people can afford healthcare, but let's say this year, because it's fucking shit, maybe only 40 to 80%, so a much smaller percentage can afford healthcare. So I think NHS.
Yeah.
I think, and sorry, go back to the question. Healthcare for all.
A healthcare system that provides basic universal coverage for all, emphasis on the basic, or high quality care only to those who can afford it.
For all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. We're all in this together. It's that shit.
Okay.
I like that question though, because it's very relevant.
Yeah.
Very relevant to the world, because everyone thinks in the world that we're really fortunate, and we are. In terms of the access to healthcare, we're really fortunate. But in terms of people that maybe can afford not quite enough for private healthcare here, which is super expensive, but can afford to pay a decent health insurance here, can wait a life-killing amount of time for a treatment in the UK sometimes through no fault of the NHS. So it comes with it. It comes with its huge problems, but
it does. What he said.
Okay. 7th one, Josh. I think this is going to interest you.
AOE and a cigarette. Pause it.
Remember to cut off all the beginnings of these.
Yeah, I will. I'll edit them down.
If not, it'd be really weird.
Alright, record.
There you go. Yeah.
So wait, you need to have your arm back up. So you're going to cut it to a point where it looks
I'm
like
going
it
to try.
slices in
To see if you
softly.
can get through this last 5-10 minutes without leaving this.
I can try, but my battery's weak as shit.
Can you believe that shit? They stopped filming an episode of the Sidebar Podcast halfway through to go out and have a piss and a cigarette, and then expected me to edit the video to make it look like they didn't have a piss and a cigarette halfway through filming. What an absolute joke. Absolutely not. No. Here's the rest of that episode though, and I appreciate them stepping in. Thanks.
Let's go.
Right. So carry on.
Okay, so the next dilemma: educational priorities.
Ooh, I like this one.
Okay.
So, schools can focus on STEM education to prepare students for future jobs, or they can emphasise the arts to foster creativity and critical thinking. Which educational focus do you support and why?
Can you go through the focuses again?
So it's either STEM, which is science, technology, engineering and maths, or it is more creative, the arts sort of subjects to foster critical thinking and creativity.
So,
Why can't you do both?
I was about to say why can't you do both, but the whole point is the dilemma we have to
They
pick.
can focus on one or the other. Which one do you think they should focus on?
Okay, wait now. So I think that STEM is right. So science, technology, English and math. I hate English, but
Engineering.
Is it engineering? So that's even better. That's me all over, because realistically, they are like the foundations of the world. That's what everything's been built on. Creativity has been born from that foundation.
Yeah, but if you can't be creative, then you can't have great brains.
Mm.
In my opinion, you need to be creative. You need to have art. What would the world be without art and stuff? I mean, music. Music is art. We
Well,
love music.
I love music, and also,
that's art though, so we should censor that.
but the only reason people have been able to have the freedom. And no, I think people would argue art's been about before what I'm about to say, but the ability for a mass population to be able to concentrate more on creativity has come from the ability to provide them with water, food.
Yeah, you need the basics.
And that's all come from science, technology, English, and maths. But would you say that the person called Einstein that worked out the theory of relativity was being awfully creative?
He was.
At the point where he was putting
together
as
his own art.
Yeah, because I think it is an art. No one else had ever thought it before.
I think the question was no. Sorry.
We are really struggling with this question.
Nah.
You would not reach a conclusion here, are we?
No.
I'm a STEM, but does creative create the ability to know what science is? Do you have to be creative to understand science in general? So null and void.
Yeah, can't.
Next question, please.
This is the final dilemma.
Ooh.
And it's about animal rights.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I have some opinions.
I know.
a scientific breakthrough allows for significant medical advancements, but it does require animal testing. Do you support the continuation of animal testing for the sake of medical progress?
So obviously medical progress is broad. If it was we can cure cancer in humans that affects nearly 50% of the population, test it.
Yes.
If it's this type of skincare helps
Cosmetics.
No, cosmetics isn't. That's not medical. Yeah. So I'm talking about, let's say, something that helps a non-life-threatening problem, which is still a massive problem, like psoriasis. Yeah. For example, psoriasis is really bad, really horrible, debilitating, not nice. No, don't test animals for psoriasis treatments, in my opinion. It's not life-threatening. Where it's cancer, it's a hard thing for me to say no to.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. I'm in agreement with you.
But is there any point where it's like, let's take medical advances as not life-saving medical advances? So let's take it as it's not cancer. It could be life-saving, but it's not cancer or heart disease. Yeah. So
like a really rare.
Take off the two big ones.
Yeah.
Would you? But it's gonna absolutely save thousands of lives, not millions, but thousands of lives. Would you then test?
I guess you have to look at the ratio of animals to humans, then, in my opinion.
You'd want to go a bit statistically. It's like if two animals have to suffer for thousands of humans every year.
I think 100 animals
maximum.
Yeah,
that's like your trigger. It's like, if that's saving thousands of people a year, and you have to test it on 100 animals.
I could eat 100 animals in 1 year. That's what I eat in a year.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, I think you're right. If you counted the pigs, chickens, cows.
Yeah, exactly. So if I can justify that, then yes, it's no different to that. And if it means I'm saving 1,000 lives,
and you're utilising it, it's the same thing as utilising it for food and eating. You're utilising it for saving lives and research. Yeah. I think, again, where it comes to medical problems that are cosmetic problems, so they still have an effect on you, probably not.
No.
If they are a life-saving or, even a niche life-saving drug that they're testing, probably yes.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yep.
I think that's a good.
Do we have good moral compasses?
I think we're learning today that we actually don't have the worst.
I think both have very similar moral compasses.
We agreed to disagree on that last one. Literally, he went, "Shall we disagree on this one?" And I went, "Yeah, probably should disagree on something today."
Didn't happen.
That is all of my dilemmas.
Amazing. So, last but not least, we'll go over a couple of fun facts, because we always love a fun fact. And there's a couple that I read recently that I thought might be a little bit interesting for you, the viewers. So, you've probably heard this because if you've downloaded TikTok, it's been on there a lot. But the Eiffel Tower itself grows by 15 centimeters in the summer and shrinks by that same 15 centimeters or 6 inches in the winter.
God damn.
Yeah, did you know?
I didn't know that.
Well, that's an interesting fact. Another one, which I think a lot of people know already, that I've got an interesting fact about, is the fact that honey never spoils. So a lot of people know this. Honey has never spoiled that you've had at home. It can go all crystallized, but it's still good to eat. So archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old.
Damn.
We're talking about a 200-year-old birra.
I know,
here,
3,000-year-old honey.
but honey can, it's not just a theory that honey can last thousands of years. We've found good edible honey that's 3,000 years old already. Fact, in my opinion. And one last fact, just to leave you with, so that you've got a little bit of brain tantalizing. I like this one. A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. Work that out. So I can tell you why. So I understand why. A day is calculated by the rotation of the planet. So how quickly it rotates from the same point all the way around 360 degrees to the same point again. Now Earth rotates every 24 hours. Now a year is calculated on how quickly the Earth travels all the way around the sun and back to the same point again, which is a year. Now on Venus, it takes, and I have to look at my phone for this part, it takes around 243 Earth days to complete one rotation. So one 360-degree rotation. But it only takes 225 days to do an entire orbit of the sun. So that means that a day, as what we call it, is longer than a year on Venus. Guys, I'm going to leave you with that one. Please like and subscribe and be excited for next week's episode in 2 weeks' time, where we're going to be in the bar
different guy,
outside,
different guy.
and Rob and Rowan are going to be back. Peace.